Welcome to the Queen of Hearts podcast. And here's the queen herself, registered dietitian Heather Klug.
It's American Diabetes Month, everyone. And on today's episode of the Queen of Hearts podcast, we're highlighting 5 scary consequences of diabetes from head to toe. Do you know what they are? Number 5 may surprise you. Keep listening to find out. I'm Heather Klug.
And I'm Bethany DeBrew-Adams.
And we're from the Karen Yantz Women's Cardiac Awareness Center.
So Heather, why is diabetes so dangerous to the heart? I think it's one of those things that we know it is, but we don't know why. And I think knowing why is half the battle as to, trying to get people to either not get it in the first place or to keep it under control.
Okay, I like where you're going with that.
Yeah,
That's
we
good.
need to be a little scared.
Okay, so many people think that diabetes is all about high blood sugar levels and lack of insulin or a poor response from insulin that does get made, but diabetes has far greater effects on the body. Okay? And it's a progressive disease, which means that once you have it, it often gets worse over time, okay?
Isn't that because high amounts of blood sugar are actually very harmful to our blood vessels, and then those said blood vessels, obviously, they go throughout our body. So if the high amounts of sugar are harmful, it's taking it everywhere.
That is correct, Bethany. High blood sugar levels cause inflammation, and they damage blood vessels, and they affect both large and small blood vessels.
Okay.
So today we're going to talk about the very scary consequences of diabetes and what we can do about them.
So starting with the first scary consequence, it says your heart takes a beating, and then your brain does as well.
Right. So heart disease without diabetes, I think we all know, we drill this into you guys enough, is the number one killer for both men and women.
Right.
Now add in having diabetes, and your risk for having a heart attack is 2 to 4 times greater.
Ooh.
Most people who have diabetes will eventually get heart disease.
Okay, and people with diabetes then tend to develop heart disease at a younger age than people without diabetes.
That is very true. It speeds that process up for sure. Let's add, too, that diabetes is far more dangerous for women.
Like everything else.
Unfortunately, there's a 2-fold risk of developing heart disease and a 3-fold risk of dying from heart disease in women with diabetes.
Yikes.
Comparing diabetic women to men with diabetes, women with diabetes are 44% more likely to die from heart disease.
That's almost half.
Right? Women with diabetes are also far more likely to have a stroke compared to men.
Of course.
With diabetes, right? So women are just at higher risk.
Right. So again, we've said this a lot on this podcast, not good news for women.
Right.
Which is why we're here, really.
Yes.
So statistics also show that women with diabetes are often undertreated for high cholesterol and for high blood pressure compared to men because doctors mistakenly think their risk for heart disease is lower. We're still working on that one, too.
Right. Yeah.
And that may partially explain their higher rates of death from heart disease and their increased stroke risk.
Right.
Now, why is diabetes specifically so dangerous to the heart?
High blood sugar levels in the bloodstream damages the inner lining of both big and small blood vessels. The body responds by repairing the damage with a layer of plaque. This takes up space in the blood vessels, essentially narrowing them.
And then once you do that, then you're headed toward a heart attack or a stroke.
Correct. And you combine this with the fact that often people who develop diabetes also have other risk factors for heart disease, right? Such as high blood pressure, high cholesterol, obesity, physical inactivity, and an unhealthy diet.
Okay.
All right.
Now, moving on to the second scary consequence, and this has surprised some people in my life when I've filled them in on this little tidbit of information, but my, oh my, diabetes blinds your eyes.
That's right, everybody. Exactly. Those pesky high blood sugar levels can lead to many eye problems, such as blurry vision, cataracts, glaucoma, and something called retinopathy, which affects the small blood vessels that lead to the retina in your eye.
Okay.
Over time, these high blood sugar levels can lead to poor vision and, yes, blindness, unfortunately.
Yep.
In fact, diabetes is the leading cause of adult blindness for people between the ages of 20 and 74 years.
Wow, that's really young.
Yeah. If you have diabetes, you're also more likely to get a rare condition called neovascular glaucoma. This makes new blood vessels grow on the iris, the colored part of your eye, and they block the normal flow of blood and raise eye pressure.
Yikes. And again, the longer you have diabetes, the more likely you are to get these conditions.
Exactly. I kind of like my eyes, and being able to see. I don't know about you.
It's kind of important, right?
Yeah.
So let's move on to number 3. And that's that this scary consequence is another one that I don't know if people really think about, but diabetes actually damages your kidneys.
That's right. High blood sugar levels also damage the blood vessels leading to your kidneys. When blood vessels in your kidneys are injured, they cannot clean your blood properly. Your body will retain more water and salt than it should, and this leads to weight gain and ankle swelling.
Okay.
Protein will also spill into your urine. You'll pee more at night, and then your blood pressure also increases too.
And that does not sound fun either. So how prevalent is kidney disease then in people with diabetes?
Well, diabetes is the leading cause of kidney disease. Yep. About 1 in 3 adults with diabetes have kidney disease. And from 10 to 40% of people with diabetes will also go on to develop kidney failure.
Not good.
Yeah, many will have to eventually go on dialysis.
Ooh, yikes. That's too much.
That's not a good one. We don't want to mess with our kidneys.
No. All right, moving on to scary consequence number 4. This one is a surprise for some people too, and that's that diabetes leads to amputations, which is a big old scary thing right there.
Oh, it is. Yeah. High blood sugar levels also cause nerve damage and contribute to poor blood circulation. This can very quickly lead to skin sores or ulcers in your feet.
Yes.
And when you don't have feeling in your feet, you don't know it's there often, right?
Yep.
An ulcer in your foot that doesn't heal causes severe damage to tissues and bones that leads to amputation of toes, feet, and sometimes part of the leg. More than 80% of amputations start with foot ulcers. And more than 60% of all non-traumatic amputations of lower limbs occur in people with diabetes.
So years ago, I used to work at a podiatry clinic, that being the foot doctor.
Yes.
And I would say about 85% of the people that came in for everything from like nail trimmings to, the ulcers that you talk about, were diabetic folks.
Yes, sure.
And the nail trimming I always thought was very interesting because your nails get very thick.
Yes.
And if you lose feeling in your feet and you can't feel if you've clipped them too close or whatever, that can
Or they get too long and then they cut your...
Yep, then that starts a lot of
toes.
these ulcers and it's just rapidly downhill from there.
Right.
And, I like my feet. I mean, they're not the most beautiful thing on my body.
You have nice feet, Bethany.
Well, thank you.
She actually has very nice, shapely feet.
I have shapely feet. I like being able to walk around. It's a good thing if I can manage to keep myself upright for the rest of my life. That would be a good thing for me.
Agreed. I like all of that too. I like being able to go where I want to go.
Right? Exactly. It's
Yeah.
not fun. I had a parent in a wheelchair. It's not fun.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the last scary consequence of number 5. This one's going to be really scary for people because it's going to surprise you, and it's an area that I think a lot of people find fun. That's going to be very disappointing for you, and that's that diabetes can dampen your sex life.
Yeah. This is an issue that doesn't often get center stage when it comes to diabetes, but uncontrolled diabetes can affect sexual health. Chronic high blood sugar levels is behind many sexual problems that people face.
Okay.
For people with diabetes, sexual problems often indicate nerve damage,
Right.
blocked arteries, and sometimes hormones that are out of whack.
Sure.
The main sexual problem for men, so we'll start with men, due to high blood sugar levels is erectile dysfunction. If you have blocked arteries due to high cholesterol and high blood pressure, not enough blood can get to the penis, making it difficult to have an erection. Nerve damage also plays a role here. Okay. The brain needs to communicate with nerves in the sexual organs. The inability of this to happen can mean that not enough blood can travel to the penis and nerves won't hold blood in the penis.
Really? Well, I knew about like the high cholesterol part of that equation, but not about the nerves.
That's something new I learned too.
Learn something new every day here at the Queen of Hearts podcast. So what about with women? We just did a whole big, long podcast about perimenopause and how that affects it. Is it kind of the same or?
It involves nerve damage. So nerve damage can cause vaginal dryness in women, which is twice as common in women with diabetes. Women are also prone to the same blood flow issues that men face due to nerve and blood vessel damage. This causes less blood flow to the vagina and clitoris.
And that is a big problem.
That sure is. Women with diabetes may also have more trouble reaching the big O.
Especially because of less blood to that area, I'm assuming.
Middle-aged women whose diabetes requires insulin are 80% more likely to report trouble reaching an orgasm than women without diabetes.
That is a big bummer.
Yep, sure is.
Uncontrolled diabetes really does affect a lot of your body that you probably wouldn't even think about. So what can we tell people to do to control diabetes and those high blood sugar levels?
Yeah, many of the same things we discussed that are good for your heart are also good for managing diabetes. Okay, keep blood pressure in a healthy range, manage cholesterol levels, stop smoking if you smoke, exercise regularly, follow a heart-healthy eating plan that includes certainly limiting highly processed foods and sugary foods and beverages, and eat sensible portions.
And it's also important to make sure that you're getting tested for diabetes, especially if you have high blood pressure or high cholesterol or if you carry excess weight, because the signs of diabetes are not always in your face. They can't tell, when you come in. And many people can be walking around with it for years without even knowing, and that's all damage that's happening.
Right, that's correct. And actually, a lot of that nerve damage happens really early on, too.
Ooh, okay.
That's the stuff that doesn't take like a decade to develop. It's happening in the first couple of years when you have diabetes, even in that pre-diabetes range. In fact, last year we did a whole episode on pre-diabetes. Right. So again, if you don't know much about that, go back and listen to that episode.
Yeah, we'll link to it definitely in our YouTube version of this podcast.
And we went more in depth on what to do to get your blood sugar levels under control. So check that one out. Another good thing to do is ask your doctor for a fasting glucose test.
Right.
And also an A1C test. That's your average blood sugar over like 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
Sometimes, I just had a lady in the other day who told me about this. Her fasting glucose was always fine. It was always in the 80s.
Sure.
And then she heard from somebody in her family that they had this A1C test done. She's like, well, I'm going to ask for that. And she had it done. And here she's in the pre-diabetes range.
Oh, wow.
So her fasting glucose didn't pick it up.
Wow.
Which means it's probably been doing some damage for her.
Sure.
Unfortunately. All right. We'll also include a link in the show notes to a diabetes risk test that you can take. Okay?
Great.
All right. Well, we hoped you learned something new about diabetes today and the scary consequences that can affect your whole body. Here in the Karen Yance Cardiac Awareness Center, we want everyone to live a healthy lifestyle so your heart is healthy and you can be at your best.
And sometimes we need to scare you a little bit to do it.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
Join our conversation by leaving a comment on our Karen Yance Center YouTube channel. Subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcast. And definitely leave us a review. Bump us up in the ratings, please. Spread the word about the Queen of Hearts podcast on your social media. And while you're at it, tell a friend. The holidays are coming up.
Yes.
Talk about us at your family dinners and parties.
That sounds great. All right. Thank you for listening today, everyone. And as we always say,
be the ruler of your own heart.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Thank you for joining us on the Queen of Hearts podcast. Our podcast is recorded here at the Karen Yance Women's Cardiac Awareness Center inside Aurora St. Luke's Medical Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. For more heart-healthy tips, info, recipes, and more, visit our website at www.karenyancecenter.org. Like us on Facebook at Karen Yance Center and follow us on Pinterest. If you like what you hear, subscribe to our show and be sure to tell your friends. Until next time, ladies, be ruler of your own heart.